disclaimer, a lot of swearing in this video. If you're not a fan of F-bombs, stay away. I'm not bleeping them out. You can just deal with it. Thanks. Hey there, thanks for clicking on this video. This is a commentary track about all my gaming videos that I make. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I make these gaming montages every year. It's gaming in whatever year it is, so 2013 all the way through to 2020 now. I'd said that 2019 would be my last year, but a lot of stuff changed this year, as I'm sure you know, so I was like, why not? I've got a lot of free time, plus I felt energized to do it this year a little bit more. I had picked some songs, so I was like, well, I picked the songs. Let me just edit the songs for fun. Edited the songs. When the songs were edited, I was like, well, this would go really well, and it snowballed from there. So I ended up just going and doing the whole thing. I'm lucky that I had the time to do it, because these do take a lot of time. Because of the pandemic, I lost my job, my full-time job, that is. So I was unemployed for a little while, and I managed to get a part-time job now, and now I'm also supplementing that part-time job with voiceover work. So if you do need a voiceover, this is me plugging myself for a little bit, timothymain.com. MAIN, timothymain.com. I'll put a link somewhere. You can hire me. I'm mostly trying to do like e-learning, narration, things like that. I have a background in broadcasting. Actually, that part-time job I was talking about, I do traffic reporting on radio and TV. So,
good morning. Looking at this image, you'd think I'm doing a traffic report for Cloud City on Bespin, but it's actually just the Portman Bridge.
I think I can use that skill and teach people things through e-learning. I mean, whatever someone's written, I'll just read whatever they've written. I do that very well. And then maybe one day I'll sidestep into voice acting, whether it's for, I don't know, cartoons, video games maybe, I don't know, right? Video games? We'll see. But anyways, this is basically just going to be me talking about why I do the videos, why I'm choosing to stop the videos, how I would go about it as an amateur video editor, because I am very much an amateur. By no means am I claiming to be a professional video editor. I'm not. I think I have a knack for it, for sure, and I do love doing it, so I think that's why I'm getting better at it as I do it more often. But I've had no official training. I don't think I want to do it full-time. I know a couple editors who work in the industry. I live in Vancouver, which is a big film town in Canada.
This is some of the nicest grass I've ever seen in my life, Vancouver.
And I know a guy who, he's worked on some fairly high-profile TV shows as an assistant editor, but it just seems like a lot of grunt work. There's not, until you get more established and have a career, there's not really a lot of creative control as an editor. At least as an assistant editor, you're just like organizing files, tagging them, putting metadata into them, and preparing them for the actual editor who actually gets to, be creative and use those skills in a new and interesting way. So, I mean, maybe one day I'll do it. I just don't like the grind, man. I'm very lazy. I'm very impatient. When it comes to my career, especially, I'm always like, I want it now. I want my success to happen now. And maybe, I don't know, one day I'll try it, but I don't know if I have the willingness to push myself through that kind of thing. Anyways, let's talk about the videos here. The original inspiration for the videos was, there's a channel on YouTube. It's not a channel, it's a person. Her name is Jen Ip. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Gen, first name, Ip, last name. And she does these filmography videos. So Filmography, 2010 through 2013. If you haven't seen them, you have to watch them. They're fucking incredible. Maybe I'll bleep the F word. I don't want people to... whatever. I mean, my videos have had swear words in them before. It's not going to be kid-friendly, so YouTube won't like it. So her videos, she did 4 of them, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, Filmography. It's like a retrospective, same thing I do, but for films, for movies. And they are the primary inspiration for videos that I do, and they're absolutely fantastic. She even had a video that was pretty funny. It was like a Watchmen trailer, but with hot chocolate, you sex thing. I think it got maybe taken down, copyright strike. Thanks, YouTube, you fucking douchebags. It's a free service. Why am I getting mad at them? But watch those. They're incredible. They're the main inspiration for this. Her, obviously, her obvious talent, if you follow her on Instagram like I do, she's now working on trailers for movies like Tenet and big Hollywood stuff. She's killing it. She's doing great. So she's the main inspiration for my videos. I basically based the template of the gaming in 2013, 14, 15 on her work, where it would I wanted to take music that wasn't really that common among gamers, or at least less obvious to use for a montage for video games. I'm not using like Skrillex or fucking, I mean, maybe that's changed recently. I mean, I've been using like things like Jump by Van Halen, for example, but I wanted to take music that you wouldn't usually see in a gaming montage video and synchronize it in a more like storytelling way, a more narrative-driven montage instead of just a bunch of clips of some dude, 360 no-scoping somebody, and I wanted to do that. And originally, the first year I wanted to do it was 2012. 2012 had a lot of great games that I really enjoyed, like Dishonored, Mass Effect 3, to name a couple. I can't really remember that many, to be honest. But I remember wanting to do it in 2012 and kind of like starting the process, but not really following through, because that was my first year of college, and I just started like 3 months before September 2012. So I was like, I'm a bit busy. I'm still learning a lot of new things, going to college, branching out. So I didn't end up doing it. However, the year following, I'd completed 1 year of college. I was like, well, I think I'm gearing up for it. And I actually, that first video, Gaming in 2013, I'd finished in a week. So I'd started the week after my first semester of the second year ended. So I was going into Christmas break, and I was like, oh, well, I got plenty of time now. I'll just edit this fucking video. I'll just throw it together and we'll go from there. So at the time I was a pizza delivery guy. That was my job on the side of being a student, and I actually picked one of the songs while the video was in progress. So, sorry, let me look up the songs. I don't want to get the names wrong here. I can't even remember. I made this video and I can't remember the names of the songs in it. So the songs were, Jesus, where is it? Oh, there we go. Zach Hempsey, Graven Images. That was kind of like the first and last time I used like this orchestral music in the video until much later, from what I understand. So Zach Hempsey, Graven Images, Feist, The Bad in Each Other, which I immediately knew when I was making this video I wanted to use that song because it's fucking dope, and Feist is great. She's fantastic. Portugal the Man, Evil Friends, that one I picked because I think it was actually made as a like companion track to Injustice, the first Injustice game, and it was on an album that was released alongside the game. And then I didn't actually have a fourth song for a while. I only picked the last song, Fits in the Tantrums, The Walker, while I was out delivering pizza. I heard it on the radio and I was like, this is a fucking banger. Like, let's put this in the video. So I went home, got the song, edited it, plugged it in, and I was like already half done the video at this point, and then I added another section with this Fits in the Tantrums, the Walker song. And that actually happened one other time later in 2017, where I added a song or changed a song last minute while I was editing the video. Because usually when I start these things, I'll pick the songs first. So I'll pick the music, I'll lay it out, and I'll edit the music first. I'll make sure that the music flows well together. I'll line them up in the audio editor. Adobe Audition is what I use, and I'll look at them and I'm like, okay, so these flow together, and then everything else comes secondary after that. So the sound effects, the video, and so on. So I'll always pick the music first and then move from there. So going from the success of that video, Gaming in 2013, that was the highest views I think I've ever gotten, 84,400 at the time of recording this. That was the most. I was blown away by the response. I think in the first 2 days, I got like 20,000 views. I was over the moon. I've never felt that excited about something I've made before, because I didn't think that many people would watch it. It was a channel that had one video at the time, and it was a kind of a thing that I'd edited together. Daft Punk, when they released their latest album, Random Access Memories, they released snippets of their song Get Lucky online and at like Coachella and stuff, and they, were teasing the album. So I'd taken all these like little clips and edited them together into like a semi sort of song. I've since unlisted the video because, now everyone has the full song to listen to and reference, So they don't need it anymore. But that video got 130,000 views because I'd edited it together into like what would sound like kind of like a feasible song out of these short 5 seconds, 10-second samples that Daft Punk had released. So I didn't expect the success of Gaming in 2013. And then after that, it went on to, because of the success rather, I was inspired to do a video going over the years of games that I hadn't made. So I thought like, oh, well, I didn't make it in 2012. Like, that's such a shame because obviously this 2013 was such a big success. So I'll make one like gaming in the 7th generation because we just gotten the newly released consoles, PS4, Xbox One. So I was like, I'll go back and I'll do all the 360, Wii U or Wii games, and the new PlayStation 3. So I did that one. That one's like, it's the longest video by far because it's like got 200 some odd games and it's fucking ridiculous how many games are in that video. I'm actually shocked that I was able to do that. 253 is how many is in that video. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of games. So I decided to do that. That one, again, I did during a summer break from college. Actually, I think I just graduated. I only did a 2-year program, so I only have a diploma. I did a 2-year program. I just graduated. I was looking to do a project that would, I don't know, fill my time, I guess, while I looked for work, and did that. The only other time I'd done it, I used a Daft Punk song rather than 2020. 2020 and the Gaming in 7th Generation, I used Daft Punk. I would love to use them more often in my videos. I've had a list of their songs that I've used for years, but I also did not want to overuse a certain artist's music or overuse a certain style of music in the videos. I usually tried every year to get something distinct, something different, something unique. However, I didn't always pull that off. For example, this year I used a song from The Heavy, Burn Bright, and I used them as well in 2017. So I'll like space it out by like 3 years, I guess. I guess that's a good amount of time. But I never wanted to like repeat the stuff because that just, I mean, it's a bit stale. You always want to upgrade, you want to change, you want to, mess with the formula a little bit. So I did that in 2014, Gaming in 7th Generation. It was really fun. However, it's a little bit different than the rest of my videos. There's a lot less dialogue because there was just so many freaking games to get through. However, I love the music in that video. What is the music in that video? Let me just take a look here. So the first song is Daft Punk. It's Contact from their Random Access Memories album. That's a really cool song, but it's actually based on a different song. I don't know what it's called right now. Maybe I'll throw up a little text box saying what the song is that it's based on. At least the intro part, not the techno-y action part. So Daft Punk Contact, love that intro. I love it because it's mostly just using that Halo 3 trailer where, Master Chief wakes up from this dream, and I love Halo so much. I really love it. It's actually the only reason I buy an Xbox anymore, to be honest. I'm sorry, Xbox, but PlayStation's just killing it. So, but I do get Xbox because of Halo. Purely, this is a $500 game for me because I have to buy the console with it. Then Massive Attack, Angel. Oh, fuck, I love that song. Massive Attack, I really wish I could have used more of their music, but it's hard because it's that trip-hop genre. It's really tough to edit stuff around that. God knows I tried. Big Data, Dangerous. Big Data, however you want to say it. Dangerous. That was really big at the time. I was hearing that on the radio constantly. And my brother is a big fan of that song. So that one to put in there. And then Justice, Helix. Oh, Justice. I think I've used them 2 or 3 times. Justice rocks, man. They're just like another Daft Punk. It's like French producers who are just fucking killing the game. Really love their music. I used Helix, which doesn't have any lyrics in it. Here's one other thing. I do like to lean towards songs that use lyrics because it it gives me a bit of a break because instead of having to put dialogue in the video, you can just let the lyrics play and you're like, yeah, there we go. Someone's fucking talking. It keeps people engaged. I don't know. It keeps me engaged. I think that's the logic behind it. It keeps me, into it. So I'll usually try and use songs with lyrics. 2014, for example, let me go back to 2014. I'm just clicking through my own YouTube channel here, so bear with me while I look at all these things. 2014, that was a real drop-off, because I went from Gaming in 2013, 84,000 views, Gaming in 7th Generation, 28,000 views, Gaming in 2014, 9,500 views. Just fucking wrecked the view count on that one. And I purely would attribute that to Reddit. So the first 2 videos I posted on Reddit, the r/gaming community, and that got them a lot of traction. It really like boosted the viewership on those first 2 videos. And then all of a sudden, the gaming subreddit just disallowed people posting videos like that. I don't know, they post like the stupidest fucking memes, and there's like the dumbest shit on there. And then they stopped letting people post original content. I mean, it's original content. I mean, I'm using copyrighted content, but like original like mashups and tributes and stuff. And I messaged the moderators. None of them fucking responded. They just didn't. Fuck those guys, to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna leave swear words in this, because I mean it's part of my personality. Okay. Yeah, I'm still raging about it. Like 6 years later, I'm still pissed about it, because put a lot of work into these, so it's nice when a lot of people watch them. I still get like thousands of views, but you know, you want returns for your input, right? I'm not bitter. I love that you guys. I mean, if you made it this far in this dumb commentary video, good on you. Good on you. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for watching I assume you watched all my videos in the past to stick with me for this fucking long on this commentary track. Yeah, so 2014, major drop off. And I will say it's probably, actually, I like this video. It's not one of my favorites that I've done. The songs I used was Amber Run, I found, which I've never listened to since I made this video. It works for the video. I don't like the song itself. It's weird to say. I use this song, but I fucking hate it. No, I just don't listen to it. It's just not my style, really. The intro was good because of like the dramatic drum beat and all that stuff, and it worked with the tone that I was going for. I wanted to start out a little bit depressing. I don't know if that's the way to do it. It's always nice to start on like a somber tone and then build up to the exciting finale. That's kind of the rationale I've used for all my videos. But yeah, that song I found, I just never listened to it. Glass Animals was the next one. Toes. That's a fun. Glass Animals is fun. Is a fun band. I like their songs, but they all do kind of sound the same. No, that's not true. But they have a very distinct style. They have a very distinct style. So I couldn't use them for my grand finale kind of thing. They don't have a song like that. And then Ash Meltdown. This is an older song. I usually try to use current music. If I could, I would try and use music that was released that year. I don't think I ever succeeded in that. But Ash Meltdown, the reason I got that one in the video was I'd watched Shaun of the Dead like 2 weeks before I started editing this video. And that's the song that Shaun, when he puts the tape into the player, and they're like driving away from the zombies. I think he's going to pick up his girlfriend or something from her house, and then they're going to go to the Winchester. That's the song that plays in that scene. I was like, this song fucking rocks. Like, I'm going to use this for the video. And I did, because I was like, this is somewhat obscure, not totally obscure. But again, it's one of those songs that you wouldn't usually pick for a gaming, or at least that I thought no one else would pick for a gaming montage video. So Gaming 2015, I love this fucking video. This is one of my favorites. It's like, between this one and Gaming in 2017 are my 2 favorites that I've ever done. Because the songs in it are fucking dope. The games that came out that year are awesome. And yeah, this year was very interesting for me because I'd moved away from home and I'd moved to the beautiful, wonderful land of Regina, Saskatchewan. Regina, experience Regina. So for anyone who doesn't know, that is in the middle of Canada, right smack dab, well, not smack dab in the middle, but it's near the middle, and Saskatchewan is the flattest province you've ever seen in your life. I mean, it's just farmland as far as the eye can see. So I'd moved there for a job working at a bunch of radio stations in the capital city, Regina. I was working as a producer, so putting together commercials and promos and stuff for three different radio stations. And I didn't know anyone there. I moved there just for the job. No friends that I knew of that lived there. I didn't have a girlfriend at the time and nothing. So I had a lot of free time on my hands, basically. So this one is probably the longest I've ever spent on a video. I started in like October. Gathered information through October, picked the music. November was editing for pretty much the entire month of November. And then I think I released it December, was it 1st? Yeah, December 1st. Released it then. So it was like one of the earliest releases I'd ever done. And yeah, I love the music, man. Daniel Pemberton, Take You Down. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. that came out, I think that came out 2015 as well. Henry Cavill, Armie Hammer. Fucking love that movie. I really wish they'd do a sequel to it. I know they probably won't. But that's good too, because the movie itself on its own is great. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's worth the price of admission. For the soundtrack alone, Daniel Pemberton, I've been following him ever since. Does great stuff. He did Guy Ritchie's next movie after The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I think that was the King Arthur movie. Movies, it's not for everybody. I'll say I liked it. I will say also that I don't think it is for everybody. But he also did the soundtrack for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. He's done a whole bunch of stuff. Daniel Pemberton's fantastic. Florence and the Machine, I'll swear by her. She's incredible. I love her a lot. Her music's fantastic. Seven Devils, the reason I picked that song was it was used in, I think, the season 2 trailer of Game of Thrones. And I basically almost copied their edit of the song beat for beat, pretty much, and put it in my video. It's almost exactly the same. If you go back and watch that trailer as what I edited into my video. And then, what was the next song? Brave Shores, Never Come Down. So Brave Shores, Never Come Down, that again was one that I'd heard on the radio. Where was I when I heard that? No, it wasn't on the radio. It was on a subreddit called r/listen to this, which is like a subreddit to promote, less popular artists, less popular songs. And it had just come up, and it was kind of that happy-go-lucky, fun poppy kind of song. And I'd found that ending the video rather on a high note is a great way to do things. But yeah, Brave Shores, really poppy song, really fun song. I loved the games that came out this year. I think I really nailed. This is when I started to really get into spending more time on the sound effects of the video, doing my own Foley, for example, or importing my own sound effects. It was also because I had access to an amazingly huge sound effects library at the radio station I worked at. So I since apprehended those sound effects, brought them with me, and I still have them because, why not? And, it's by far the most, complex title sequence? It's not really complex, but I had to mask out the title behind Mad Max's car, which was a big deal for me. I'd never done anything like that. Like I said, I'm an amateur video editor. So having the car, or rather the title, disappear behind the car was a big progression for my skill set, let's say. I've never done it since because it was tough. It was tough. It was difficult to do. But I really love the layout of this video. I love the pacing. I think it works really well. It's pretty long. It's 4 minutes long. But that's mostly due to that Florence and the Machine song, because that goes on for like a minute and a half. I would usually, when I was editing these songs beforehand, try and keep it a minute or less, or like just over a minute, because you don't want anything to overstay its welcome. At least I don't. I'm saying this as if this is like a fact, like an objective fact. Like, you don't want it to overstay its welcome. But yeah, I think that's true. Even if I am an amateur, even if that's my own opinion, I don't think you want things to stick around too long, because people will start to get like, well, when is this going to fucking end? Yeah, love this video. It's fantastic. It's really good. Yeah, like I said, this is when I first started to use sound effects. For example, there's a section in the beginning where the StarCraft, what's the race? Protoss? There's a Protoss dude, and he's like, power overwhelming. That was from the original video, but sometimes the audio from these trailers that I download is just so messy and noisy, and there's like extra music playing, and there's shit in the background. So like, I really wanted to get him to say power overwhelming, but I couldn't clean up the audio well enough from the trailer audio. So that's when I first started looking for audio clips, like, power overwhelming from StarCraft, blah, 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 blah. And I actually downloaded like a clean audio file.
Power overwhelming.
And it was like opening a whole new world for me. I was like, oh my God, I could just search these things on YouTube or Google or whatever, find a clip of a character saying a certain thing and plug it in, and no one will know the difference because it's not a human character, so you don't see their mouth moving. So you can just say, you can plug it in like, yeah, that's exactly what it sounded like from the source video. I was using a lot of these sound effects I got from work, like gunshots. It makes it a lot clearer. And again, it's fucking music in like all these trailers. It's so overwhelming sometimes. It's like really hard to remove, especially when you just want the dialogue. It's like a Christopher Nolan movie where it's just like blaring noise all the time and you have to like squint and try and like really focus your hearing to hear the dialogue. Like, I went to see Tenet in IMAX a couple months ago. Fucking what's going on in that movie, Chris? Turn the dialogue up, you dumbass. I mean, he's a great movie maker. I love his films, but dude needs to learn how to mix his dialogue better. Where was I? Yeah, great. Loved gaming in 2015. Had a little bit of a resurgence in the viewership, 71,000 views at the time of recording here. I don't know what did that. I think it's maybe I posted it on Reddit. Maybe it was successful. Maybe like it just got shared around a little bit more. I don't know. That was the last time I saw anything over 10,000 views. From there on, it was like 8,000 or less. Gaming in 2016 is one of those. So it's 7.8 thousand right now at time of recording. And that one, I was kind of disappointed with it at first when I released it because I preferred gaming in 2015. However, I will say it's probably on par with gaming in 2015, if not maybe a little better. Maybe a little better. I don't know. I think they're both great. I think they're both really great. And the music this was the first time I used, I think, an artist back to back. Daniel Pemberton again, A Last Drink, again from the Men from U.N.C.L.'s soundtrack. That fucking soundtrack's incredible. It's great. If you're not into listening to movie soundtracks, TV show soundtracks yet, you should definitely, because you get some really, really great artists flexing their chops. Flexing their chops? Is that an expression? Flexing their skills, flexing their muscles on soundtracks like Daft Punk, for example, in the Tron soundtrack, or Ludwig, was it Göransson? Am I saying that right? Like The Mandalorian, Tenet, and then he produces music for Childish Gambino. You're like, this guy's incredible. So definitely get into listening to soundtracks. But what's the next song? Mr. Rogers, I'll Take You. It's the Genou remix. Because I picked the remix, of course, it's a little bit more energetic, a little more fun, a little more poppy. But there's a game that came out that year called Recore, and their trailer for that game used the original version of that song. And I was like, this is a fucking dope song. Looked it up, found the remix. I was like, oh, this is even more dope for what I wanted to use it for. So that's the first time I've used a song that I heard in a game trailer in one of my videos. I'd avoided that type of situation like the plague before because I didn't want to borrow or steal from people too much. I mean, with the exception of Florence the Machine 7 Devils in 2015, when I just basically copied the Game of Thrones trailer. Yeah, I tried to avoid that in the past, but I think I did a good enough section of the video here to make it distinct and make it stand out. Rag and Bone Man, Human. That, I think, it had just released. I think it just released that year. I can't remember. Love that song. Guy's got a great voice. Really, really good song. Love that section, actually. And that's, again, where I start to use the sound effects to my advantage here. Those things that I'd learned in the previous year. And then Tupac, James Brown, the Unchained remix mashup. So I think it's a combination of... What's the name of the original songs? I can't remember. I'll throw them up on the screen here. But I just love the whole soundtrack for Django Unchained. And I think that's what that's from. All the music used in that movie. So I remember seeing the movie and thinking, I want to use a song from this movie. And there's the guy who plays piano is super handsome, married to that funny lady. I can't remember. His name starts with a J, I think. John Legend. That's his name. So John Legend has a song on that soundtrack. Who Did That to You? I was going to use that for a while, and then I switched it to this one, Unchained, because this one slaps, as the kids would say. It slaps. It's a really good song. But this one, yeah, the viewership dropped pretty significantly. So I was a little bit discouraged at first, but I mean, I look at the like to dislike ratio on all my videos, and it's always overwhelmingly positive. So I'm like, you know what? The people who watch these videos fucking love these videos, and I love them. So I'm gonna keep making them, regardless of the viewer count. So I kept doing it, just kept doing it into 2017, which I will probably say undisputedly is my favorite one that I've ever made. Again, it's because I spent a lot of time working on this one. I started very early in October again of 2017. Worked all the way through November and released it on December 1st. And I think it's because I took my time with it. I didn't, have to fast track myself or like skip through anything. I'd picked some music that I think goes so well together, and kind of really follows my formula quite well, to be honest. So Journey, Separate Ways, Worlds Apart. Heard that for the first time in my life in the Tron movie, Tron Legacy from 2010, which I'll bring up again later. But that was, really love that, the way I edited that together, because, I mean, the vocals in that song are incredible, but then I decided to cut out all the vocals for my intro for the game. And it fits so well with like I was going for like more sci-fi space clips if I could. So like Star Wars, Horizon, whatever that, New Dawn? Is that the name of that game? I can't remember. Zero Dawn. And, Halo Wars 2, I think it was, and things like that. So I'm trying to make it more sci-fi-y. One thing about the music in this, the intro with the Journey, Separate Ways, World Apart, it's got this wind-up sound that happens as the first shot opens, which is Mass Effect Andromeda, I believe. And it's actually it's this intro sound that I got from some stems, which are like the multi-track sessions that producers would use for songs. It's from 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars. So when I was working at a radio station, I would get access to these stems, and you could pull out individual tracks from the song and use just the drum beat, just the guitar, just the vocals, whatever you needed. And this is like it's the ramp up to the beginning of 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars. And I just cut out this little bit and used it as my like wind up into the start of the video, because it just starting it with Separate Ways, Worlds Apart, it felt a little bit too sudden. It needed like a little bit of a build before it like just kind of slapped you in the face with that sci-fi magic. And then it transitioned so well into that Justice Civilization song, where it explodes into your face, and there's like energy.
It's not a metaphor, guys. Go grab some big guns.
And then I always thought it ran really well into the Run the Jewels song, where I was able to like integrate the song with sound effects. You know, that Star Wars horn, that blaring, that iconic alarm sound from the Death Star and Star Destroyers and stuff. Where woo woo, loved it. Fucking when I did that, I was like, I'm the fucking man. Really loved that. I love this whole video. Like, it's really fantastic. And then the last song, I was talking about it earlier. This is another one where I was partway through, if not more than halfway through this video, when I changed the last song in, I can't even remember what song I had originally, because the heavy Same Ol' is just so much better than the song I'd picked originally. Like, it blows it out of the water. And the reason I switched it out was I was watching an episode of The Grand Tour on Amazon Prime, and I think it's like the second episode of that show, maybe the third episode. They have a montage where they're like driving through, and this song comes on. It just sounds so like powerful and epic and triumphant, and you're like, fuck yeah, this is the one I want to end the video on. And it wasn't like that classic poppy ending that I'd gone for previously with like that Brave Shores thing in 2015 and The Walker in 2013. It all starts with the music, man. Like, the music really, really powers these videos. If it wasn't for the music, I don't think they'd be nearly as good. So it really depends on what songs I pick. So for 2018, I think it had good music, but I don't think my heart was in it. So this is kind of where I started to lose steam on these videos, is making gaming in 2018. Not just in viewership, just in my passion for it a little bit. It had Beastie Boys, Intergalactic, Imagine Dragons, Walking the Wire, Florence and the Machine, What Kind of Man, which was that was a holdover from 2015. I'd actually was going to use that in 2015, transplanted it to this one because the edit I did, I really enjoyed it. And then ending it with The Killer's The Man, which is a big song at the time of editing it. And I don't know, it just doesn't really do it for me, this video, to be honest. And I don't think it's the video itself. I think it's where I was at the time of making it. I wasn't really doing that well. When I'd moved to Regina, I was just there for the year of 2015, then I moved back to Vancouver. And I had gone through a spell of like anxiety and depression, which, you know, now that I look back, it never really leaves you, those kind of things, you know? They kind of stick with you for a while, and it makes you feel a little bit yucky almost all the time. And it really affects your work ethic, and not just your work ethic or like your professional drive, but your personal drive too. It was this point where I was like, I was spending more time making these videos than I was actually playing games in the entire year. For example, here in 2020, I don't think I've played any of the games that came out in 2020. Not one. Like, not at all. I've mostly been playing games that I bought in like 2018, 2017, 2019. Red Dead Redemption, for example. Owned it since like 2 months after release date. Didn't finish it. Didn't even play it really until 2020. You know? Or, well, I mean, a little bit through 2019, but I was having a hard time just enjoying things that I enjoyed. And that's the worst part about this depression, anxiety crap, is you don't even enjoy the things that you enjoy, you know? So you don't even, everything seems like a chore, even the things you like. So even like me, like thinking like, oh, maybe I should play a game, like fire up the PlayStation, fire up the Xbox. I have a gaming PC too. I mean, I haven't updated it in a while, so it's kind of a donkey right now. But I'll fire that up, play a game, but I could like never sit still for more than an hour. I would start playing the game, go through the motions, and then just realize like, am I even enjoying this? And I'd go up and I just go like scroll fucking Reddit or watch YouTube videos or play a game that I've played before a million times and just play that again. It was really tough making these videos when you're no longer passionate about the source material. You're more passionate about the product that you're working on rather than the thing it's based on. And that's kind of where it started to show for me, I think in 2018 and in 2019 as well. To the point where I used to go back and watch my own videos constantly, gaming in 2013 all the way through 17. And then once it got to 2018, 2019, I don't think I've watched those two videos very much. I mean, the viewer count's much lower, of course. And I think that is because, you know, there's maybe a little bit of a reflection of the quality of the videos, maybe the where I was at the time. That's not true. I do enjoy 2018 and 2019. I think they're good. I don't know. I just feel strange about them. Music for gaming in 2019. This was actually pretty good. Yeah, so the music for gaming in 2019, Vitalik, My Friend Dario, that came on shuffle. I was like listening to, well, Google Play Music at the time. Now it's YouTube Music, but it was just on shuffle. This song came on. I was like, this is kind of a banger. So Vitalik, My Friend Dario, whatever it is. Really fun intro song. I wish I'd started this a little bit differently. I had some other songs that I cut in favor of this one, and I regret it. I think that's why I'm looking back on 2019 with some animosity. And then French 79, Hometown, the intro. That's a good song. It's pretty good. I like the build of it. I don't know. That was originally going to be the intro to this video, but it was too down and depressing to start the video with this like womp, 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 womp. It sounded like the Welcome to the Twilight Zone kind of thing. I don't like that. So I switched it around for a more energetic song, and then I was going to transition into the dank, dour, depressing song. And then I moved on to A Tribe Called Red. Really great. I'd never, not never, but I'd kind of heard about this band in passing up until this point. And then I heard this somewhere. I can't remember. Maybe my girlfriend was listening to it, or I think my brother may be a fan. Someone I know is into A Tribe Called Red. And so I went through their stuff, and it's really good. I think they're Canadian too, which, you know, like me some Canadians. And I used 2 versions of that song back to back, or kind of intermix them, intercut them, which was fun. And then Van Halen Jump. This was inspired by that trailer for Ready Player One. I even used some clips from that mix of the song, because I think when movie studios make trailers for games, or movies rather, they probably call up the record company and ask for like the master tracks for these songs, and they can get access to secret recordings and whatever, and they can mix it a lot differently. And of course, they have people who are professionals putting these things together so that it sounds a lot cooler. So when you can copy a professional and make yourself sound or look professional, do it. There's no such thing as an original idea. Well, maybe there is, but every idea builds on the one before it. Every idea has a predecessor. So, take other people's ideas, evolve them into your own thing. That's exactly what I did with these videos. Like, this is not a new concept. I'm not the first person to do something like this. So, yeah, just take advantage. Van Halen Jump, one cool thing about that is at the end of 2019, the credits, it slowly fades into like a I guess it's like a radio sounding beep, beep, boop, 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 boop. That is actually from the stems that I was talking about in 2017. So the stems, it's like the multi-track with all the different guitar, drums, things on different tracks, vocals, so you can isolate them. I isolated that, I think, from the vocal track or the drum track. It was one of those two. And that is the sound coming out of one of the members of Van Halen's headphones into their microphone. So it must be the vocals. So they can hear the music in their headphones. And that sound, I didn't alter that in any way. That is purely pulled from the studio sessions from Van Halen, which I thought was really cool. And I really wanted to tell people about it. But I was like, who do I tell about this? Besides maybe, like my family, my friends. But only a handful of my friends watch these videos. My mom and dad, of course, watch these videos. Yeah, beyond that, I don't know too many people in my immediate personal life that watch these videos. Spencer from BCIT, I think he watches these videos. So if you're listening this far, Spencer, shout out. But beyond that, I don't really know. But yeah, cool little tidbit. And you can find these stems online. Just Google them. There used to be a huge subreddit that would share these things online, but I think music companies went after them and shut the subreddit down. I, however, still have all the ones that I have collected throughout the past. So I, suck at music companies. I'm not using it for profit. It's just for fun. So stop copyright striking my videos for using this music. It's fair use, man. Hey, man, it's fair use, man. But yeah, this is when I started to lose it. That's why last year, 2019, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore because I'm not enjoying it. It feels like a chore. And yeah, I was totally content with leaving it gaming in 2019. I was like, I'm done. Fucking done, man. I don't want to do it anymore. But then, fucking COVID-19. And
Get out the way.
I decided to do another one. So gaming in 2020, I enjoy it. I like this one. I think it's better than 2018 and 2019. It's better than those two videos. I think it's just because I really took my time with it this year. Not took my time with it, but I was patient with myself, if that makes sense. So I didn't force myself to work on it when I didn't want to. It was very organic. It was kind of like I edited the music for fun. I was like, oh, this would sound fun. This would sound cool. Once the music was edited, I was like, maybe I'll make a list of games from the year. Go to Wikipedia, find the gaming list, make it up. And every time I would go back and edit it, when I got tired of it, I just let it go. I'd be like, I wouldn't try and power through. I would just be like, okay, I'm done. Leave it alone. Go and do something else. So I'd go do something else. And I think that really helped because I breezed through this. I don't think I've breezed through a video this easily since gaming in 2013. Gaming in 2013, it was new, it was exciting, it was fresh. So I really breezed it. And also the 2020, I think, is my shortest video yet. It's like 1 second shorter than gaming in 2018. That's one thing I noticed too. Looking back, the older videos are a lot longer than the newer ones, the more recent ones. That's because I was just like, I don't want to fucking deal with this for that much longer. So I picked shorter songs intentionally. I intentionally edited the songs shorter. What I was originally going to do in 2020 was just have one song. Just do one song, one segment, quick mashup, done. then I was like, oh, well, it feels weird. It's going to be ham-fisted. It's going to be forced. There's a dude who does gaming in like 2013 and under 2 minutes, gaming 2014 under 2 minutes. They're just a different style. And it's just like clips thrown together. There's a couple great edits that he does. They're really good. That I really admire. So my phone's vibrating here. Let me turn this off. That I really enjoy some of his edits. But I didn't like his style. So I couldn't bring myself to do a shorter video like under 2 minutes or like blah, 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 blah. One of those quick, fast. I mean, some of these segments, like the last segment of Gaming in 2020, the Rockefeller Skank, that fucking runs through. I fucking run through a lot of clips on that one. I really move fast on it. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do a shorter video in the end. I had thought about it. I thought about it a lot. I was like, man, I want to do a quick one. Kind of do one that I was a little more proud of than I was of 2019, 2018. Couldn't bring myself to do it. So I just did a full-length one instead. And I'd set an arbitrary, is that the right word? Limit for myself. Like, always release it either December 19th or earlier, because Gaming in 2013 was released December 19th, 2013. You don't want to release too close to Christmas because people will be focused on other things, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to release it too late because people will be looking forward to the next year. So I was always like kind of debating when to release these things. This year I was like, well, when it's fucking done, I'll upload it. So I think that really helped me a lot. I was like, I wasn't setting a timeline for myself. I just kind of like, when I had time, I would work on it. When I have time, I wouldn't. So that was great. I like the video this year. Daft Punk makes a return in the soundtrack for the first time since 2014. Recognizer, that song from the Tron Legacy soundtrack, which came out about 10 years ago at the time of this recording. It's like 10 years and a few days ago. And I love that movie. I love the original Tron I think it's from the 80s with Jeff Bridges and the whole crew. And then I really liked the sequel from 2010. It's not like a stellar movie in terms of like writing or story or anything. It's just the world building in it and like the music, of course. The music is otherworldly. Like when that movie came out and I went to see it with one group of friends, or maybe it was my brother or someone in my family, and then I went back again with different people a second time. And that was the first time I think or one of the first times I went back to the theater to see a movie a second time. I've since done it with like the new Star Wars movies, for example, with the exception of The Rise of Skywalker, but that's another story. Don't like that movie. I really hope they make Tron 3 at some point. Disney's got like money to burn. Just make it, Disney. Come on. Just make it. It's just such a cool world and such a cool idea. And I think if you get a very good writer, someone with some cool ideas, I'll write it, Disney. Freaking give me I'll do it. The Heavy comes back because they're a great band. If you're not into the Heavy, give them a listen. Even if it's not your style, some of their music's just really superb. Actually, all of it's really superb. I love all their stuff. All of it, 100% of it. And I don't say that about many bands. I can say that maybe about the Heavy, Florence and the Machine, Daft Punk, like pretty much if you pick a band that I've used in one of my songs, except for Amber Run. I don't like those guys. I don't like that song. Yeah, I really love the Heavy. They're great. And then the final song, Rockefeller Skank, Fatboy Slim. That's a classic. I mean, no one can deny that song. That song is superb. It's unbelievable. I actually wanted to use that song or one of Fatboy Slim's song previously in the previous years, but sometimes, it just doesn't fit with the other songs that you pick. It doesn't really work with the pacing, the tempo. It just doesn't really fit, So I just never ended up being able to do it. I should explain the credits as well for Gaming in 2020 because it goes edited by, and then there's this Very old game playing in the background, and that is FIFA 99. FIFA 99 is one of the first games I can even remember playing. I think the very first game I remember playing is Age of Empires. My dad had that, and I love that game to death. I still own it now. I keep buying every edition they come out with, whether it's the HD edition or the definitive edition. But FIFA 99, my brother and I used to love playing that, and it has this great intro. I think it's on YouTube. You can just look it up, FIFA 99 HD intro, and yeah, it's got the Rockefeller Skank playing it. That's the first time I heard that song. I love that game, and it was a great way to pump you up to play FIFA 99, which one of my favorite games of all time, I guess you could say. I have a long list. I have a playlist of like over 100 songs that I've thought like, well, this would be good for one of my gaming videos. Maybe I'll post the list in the description so you can see all the songs that I would have used or maybe didn't use in the past. Because there's some really good songs in there that I wish I could have used, but didn't. Maybe I'll use them in like a different type of montage in the future. I had made a Mandalorian tribute for season 1 that I was going to release before season 2 came out. But again, that good old depression snuck up behind me and ruined my productivity. Wasn't able to do it. I speak openly about it with my parents when I feel down. My girlfriend, I hope they know that. It's not like it's something that's boiling under the surface that'll eventually one day affect my health. I'm aware of it. I take care of myself. Don't worry about that. And if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling unwell, if you're not feeling too great, talk to someone about it. I know in some situations, people don't feel like they can talk to a loved one. They don't want to burden a loved one. If you don't want to burden a loved one, there are phone lines you can call. There are counselors. There are tons of people online who are dealing with the same thing. There is a subreddit called GFD, which is Gamers Fighting Depression. Go on Reddit r/GFD. And these are just people that play games together who have suffered from depression or are suffering from depression. And it's a super supportive community. You've got people like asking for friends to play with on certain games. Like I see like people like, hey, I'm looking for a buddy in World of Warcraft, or hey, looking for a buddy who has Xbox Live, or hey, I'm looking for a buddy who has PlayStation. It's people from all over the world, man. They share a common interest and they want to support each other. They want to be there for one another, and it's fantastic. So if you are feeling that way, if you ever felt that way, or you just want to, hang out with people who love things that you love, who love hobbies that you have as well. Gamers Fighting Depression. There's plenty of mediums for that. So yeah, I want to say thanks for watching the videos. If you made it this far in the commentary, good on ya. Like really good on ya. Thanks for sticking around. This is looking at my raw recording time, 46 minutes. Holy shit. Who's going to listen to this? I'll edit it a little bit. I'll edit it down a little bit. But again, I wanted to just say thanks. Thanks a lot for watching the videos, sticking with every year, listening to this commentary most of all, because this was a slog, I'm sure. I'm sure it was. I'd actually done one of these once before. Gaming in 2017, I did like a behind the scenes thing where I screen capped my project file and I showed how I edited everything together, and then the file got corrupted and I just gave up. I was just frustrated by that and I never did it again. So hopefully that doesn't happen with this, and I can actually put this up there and show you. And if you want to see something, you're like, oh, want to see the video without any music, just the sound effects. I listened to the latest one, 2020, yesterday without the music, and it was kind of fun. Just with the sound effects. But then again, I made it. So, that kind of thing tickles my interest. Thanks again. If you need a voiceover for anything, timothymain.com. I'm on Fiverr. I'm on voices.com. You can look me up on those places as well. If you're worried about paying for stuff, send me a message anyways. Maybe we can work out a pro rata kind of thing. Just let me know, man. I'm looking to expand my horizons. COVID took my full-time job away, so it's also, to make some extra cash, keep myself afloat here. And I hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying healthy. Good luck going into 2021. Wear your mask if you can. Social distance if you can't. And just be nice to one another, man. Be nice to people. Don't go on the internet. I'm a bit of a hypocrite. I go on the internet and yell at people sometimes. I want to yell at people in the comment section of some of my videos sometimes. They're like, why didn't you include this game? Why didn't you include that game? Fuck off. Make your own video, you dumbass. I used to care a lot about that, and it actually influenced my editing for a while. It influenced what games I put in this year, for example, 2020. I'm putting in that Persona 5 sequel in. Put that in so much because one guy was like, oh, you didn't put Persona 5 in there, and I did. But it was for like half a second. But that shit sticks with me, man. And I'm a people pleaser a little bit, so I ended up doing it, letting it influence my my editing. Anyways, I gotta go. I actually gotta go to work. I gotta report the traffic from a helicopter. Isn't that a cool thing to say? I'm a helicopter traffic reporter. It's pretty fun. So I'm gonna go do that right now. I'll edit this afterwards. And yeah, again, stay healthy, stay safe. Follow me on timothymain.com. I'm on Twitter at Prime Minister. I'm on Instagram as well. I'm not going to tell you what that is because I post a lot of personal photos. But thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a good one. Maybe I'll do another one of these. Who knows? Bye.